Well, here we are. I began my Dustin review analysis many months ago. I made 3 parts of it, and I left in that they were supposed to be 4 parts. And people have been requesting the fourth part. The fourth part, yes, for a long while, and I haven't really made it until now. I'm just gonna close the door. I guess I've just been wondering about how to solve the task that I set about to. Like I promised I would I would show how Dustin is a despicable person, how his outer grotesque body matches an equally stunted and evil inner character. And for a long while I stopped there, the same way John Tolkien stopped at the grave of Balin in when he was writing The Lord of the Rings. And as I was reviewing the police interview of Dustin McPhetridge, I paused it at the image you're seeing now of the suspect and wannabe child molester hiding his face in fake assumed shame with his one good hand, and the policeman leaning back comfortably, legs crossed, with a pen thoughtfully thrust towards his upper lip, as if he is in deep thought, or as if he's trying to make sense of what Dustin have done and what Dustin is trying to tell him. Let's listen to them for a little while, and so that I sort of can get into the topic, right? Because I promise you that I would try to display what makes Dustin such a bad guy.
Yes, sir.
Anything of anybody underage?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? How could you not know? Did you ever see any underage on your computer? Or view any images?
I've viewed images before,
of
I think.
Of underage people?
Not me.
Yeah, so what Dudinsky is trying to do here, the policeman, is that he follows a quite simple formula. Do you have a computer? Do you have access to the internet? Do you have pornographic images? Are the pornographic images of children? Are they of underage people? Where did you get them from, and have you spread them further? Where is your computer? How can we get to it? Is there any hindrance in getting to it? Are there relatives, animals there? Are you the only person using the computer? And we are sort of in the middle of that train of questions, and Dustin says that, well, I viewed images, I think, and the appeal of Dustin is that he's just manipulative enough to try to manipulate, but just dumb enough for any of us normal chumps to be able to see through him. So here he admits that he has been seeing images of underage people, and probably there's a lot of people who have seen images of underage people, but have they been pornographic? And if so, did they seek them out? Let me try to think of an example here. There's probably some nudist images on the internet that you could stumble upon if you Google nudist beach. There might be some images there of a sweaty family on the Black Sea coast or some Spanish beach or wherever, and there will be children there and they will be naked. Now, this is underage images, but not necessarily pornography. It could be allowed to see, or if you open up a medical lexicon, there might be an image there of a naked girl. If you are like Walter Babs and you're unsure what a hymen is and you search for it, you might actually find some real photographs of that, because it has a medical, So Dustin isn't smart enough to try to twist it that way, that He was looking for regular porn, and he's not smart enough either to say that, well, I did see some images, but I was molested myself and I was doing some research. This is what I think it was the lead singer of Led Zeppelin or one of those other bands, The Who or whatever. He used a credit card to pay for child porn, and he had been molested himself, and he defended him towards the police that I was doing research. It's a pretty lousy defense. It doesn't make it okay, but at least it's a defense. What makes Dustin such an idiot is that he never puts up any defense. He just volunteers information after information, but then he puts in this disqualifier where he says that, well, I think it's that way, yeah. So his stupidity annoys me. Let's listen a little more.
Into, and I don't know what else saved on it.
What do you mean not meaning to? How can you not mean to?
I mean, you go on the internet and look at porno, and you don't know if they're of age or not.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty weak defense. You would presume that a porn actress is 18, right?
Some are.
Well, remember, I just told you, I just found a caps lock button a couple years ago, so I'm not real computer savvy.
Now, Dudinsky will deliver one of the immortal lines of TCAP. He wants to have it explained to him how you find porno on the internet.
So explain to me how you get porn on the internet. I understand you can punch in porn, but what I'm talking about is underage people. Do you exchange porn with other people?
Now, that is a very valid question, because if you do exchange porn, it means you're spreading child pornography as well. That's a much bigger crime, because with each viewing and each spreading, you are sort of repeating the abuse and the exploitation of the minor, the child. And it is in line with what Dudinsky is looking for. So he has already tricked Dustin into sort of, you are already viewing underage porn, right? Because how do you get to underage? Like, as if Dudinsky, being a investigator in child predator, online child predatory behavior, wouldn't know.
No, sir.
Okay, how do you?
I will change that story a small bit. I have a female friend that has sent me a couple female photos of a couple of her friends on Adult Friend Finder or something like that.
Okay. So the porno that you're looking at is off of websites.
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, and off of Emulex, and I mean.
Off of what?
A download program.
Download program? What did you call it just now?
Emulex.
Emulex?
Emule, you probably remember what it was like. This is a 10-year-old video. It was basically a program like uTorrent where you could download things, and normally it would take like 10 minutes to download a single song.
It's Emule, but you don't have to share stuff to send.
So that could be just other people sending you stuff.
Yeah.
Do you save porn on your computer?
Yes.
Videos or just pictures or both? Or?
Both, and I need to delete it. I meant to.
Do you burn any CDs or anything of it?
I think they have been burnt CDs of it, and I don't know exactly where they are. I don't know if they're on the desk, if I've thrown them away or what. I can't.
So here he comes to the core of the case, because Dustin showed up for a 13-year-old, which is about as despicable as all the other men. But 2 points makes him decidedly more wretched and evil. First of all, the CD-ROMs that he's describing right now is actually in front of his computer, and when the police raid his house, they discovered that he has over 100, and we don't know how many, but over 100 child pornography images, which was probably the most common way to collect child porn back then. And what the police says about pedophiles is that they always spend a lot of energy collecting child porn and cataloging it and making it library and, you know, burning it on DVDs and so on. Considering that he was selling DVDs for Ricky Morton, like at flea markets and so on, I'm pretty sure that he burned that child pornography in order to spread it. Because if you're using it for sexual gratification, why wouldn't you just keep it on your computer? It's actually easier to hide somewhere in the hard drive, right? Why would you burn it? I never burned porn on any DVDs except once for a friend in the army, and he just, you know, he didn't have internet out in the barracks, so, you know, I burned him a couple of DVDs with pure porn, you know, just downloaded films with Aurora Snow and Sasha Grey and so on, and just sent it to him like a discovery package, or I don't know, you know. And because in the army, you know, you have to have porn, but I never burned it for my own consumption, right? So it tells me that he was probably spreading it, and that's why he got a longer sentence than the others. He got 8 years for the child porn and 5 years for showing up for the girls. He was lucky and got to serve the sentences concurrently, with not consecutively, which means that he would only serve 8 years. He serves them at the same time. And we have some of the letters that he sent out of jail. He sent them to the judge and asked if he could go home in the middle of his sentence because he had learned his lesson. It's a hilarious read. He tries to play up his illness and so on. So that's the first point in how evil he is. You know, not only does he view and watch child pornography, but he downloaded it and burned it in order to proliferate it. And in order to spread it. That's my first point, which makes him about as bad as the guys who abused those children in the first place. Now, I believe that he probably got them off websites because 10 years ago, again, according to the police, was recently a big series of newspaper articles in my country about it, because some journalists basically went to some websites and they had a hacker who went to the deep web and they could see who had paid to download which files, and they couldn't view the files, but they could see the names of the files, and then they called the guys with those IP addresses on the phone and asked to meet them, and it was very interesting. They were not arrested afterwards, although everything was handed over to the police, but still it was very illuminating. Abuse is one thing, but to document that abuse and to spread it is obviously a much harsher crime, and the legislation against that is very strict. So that's one of the reasons why Dustin is such an animal. Now, secondly, he is somebody who makes a complete object out of the decoy. Like, he asks her literally, "Where do you want my cum first?" And she says, "I don't know." And he says, "Pussy, mouth, or ass." You don't say that to a real person. You don't say that to somebody whom you respect, even in the slightest. Like, he would have abused that girl so badly, but he wasn't somebody like a lonely guy looking for company like, I guess, JT West. You could make the case that he was just a lonely guy. He talked about introducing the girl, the 13-year-old child decoy, to his parents. He talked about building a life together and so on. Dustin only talks about her as if she's like an inflatable fuck doll that he's going to have, a jolly good time with. If he was unable to achieve erection, I'm sure he would have abused her with his cane. So that's it. I wish I could have more to say about Dustin, but my interest and my activity levels in the TCAP environment have faded a little. So I'm not going to make like an hour-long analysis of him, and I don't think they would be very good in any case, because we have so much new material to look at, and there's not really much to add to my 3 first parts of the Dustin McPhetridge review, and he has been analyzed like by 2 other guys at least. Probably with a little different angle, more with sort of a humorous look at him. I really find him one of the worst predators. He was very insistent in his persuasion of the child. And then he talks about having underage pictures that a female friend of him sent, but not of her, but of other children. I don't know. It sounds as if he's really into spreading and exchanging child porn. So he's just a guy who would victimize children over and over again, and he objectifies them. And don't let his disability fool you. He was a man with a devious plan and devious activities. There's no doubt about that in my mind whatsoever.
Yes, sir. Okay. I gotta go get your driver's license real quick, okay? And then I'll be right back. We'll finish up.